Hi there, teachers. The purpose of this video is to give you some quick and easy and free tools that you can use to obtain student feedback from a lesson. And these can be done through distance learning or they could be done in the classroom. I'd like to start off with MintaMeter, which is one of my favorites. You can sign up for a free MintaMeter account at MintaMeter.com, and the free version will have a few limits, but I've found that I can do things just perfectly well with that free version and haven't felt the need to upgrade yet. Once you've signed up for your account, you're going to want to click on New Presentation. Now you're going to have choices of the types of presentations that it can be. So here's an example that I used recently when we were studying rocks and minerals. I had discussed the properties of minerals and asked students if quartz is a mineral. And so this is what they saw. This was what was projected and shared to them. But when I look at the results, I can see how many students chose that it was a mineral or not a mineral, or they weren't sure. So we have different views for the student and for the teacher. I can change which type of question I want to ask by going back to type on the slides, and maybe I wanted to do a word cloud to get some opinions about some new topic that's being introduced. Here's an example of where I used a word cloud, also with the Rocks and Minerals unit. I had these students look at this picture and then create hashtags, and they were able to type in 3 different hashtags to represent that picture, and the results turn into a word cloud where the most common words show up larger and the least common words show up smaller. So it gave us a good starting point for that unit. We could also choose the scales format, and that's going to give you the ability to enter some statements and have the students choose how well they agree with that statement, so you can see how well they understood a concept or their opinion about something. I used that type of Mentimeter for a reflection at the end of the unit where the students showed how well they enjoyed it, if they learned something, how they felt like the activities related to the content. So as you can see, there's lots of types of slides that you can use. These are going to be projected to the student. They're going to respond to the prompt, and then you're going to be able to see the results. And you can choose whether you want to share those results with them or not. Padlet is another resource that you can sign up for free. The free version does have a limit to how many pads you can make. Once you've signed up on Padlet, then you want to click on Make a Padlet. And you have the choices of the format that it's going to be, whether you want it to be a wall, a canvas, a timeline, a map, all these different choices. So to show you an example of a wall Padlet, here's one where I had the students each put their own little response to a question on their own sticky note. And if I wanted to change the background, the colors, the font, I would be able to do that from this menu here. When I created that, I put in the title and the question and then gave them the link to be able to edit it by putting their own sticky notes. So when they went to this, they were able to click on the plus, and that gave them a place to write. As students create these posts, they're able to add links or images or Google search to their sticky note that they're adding up here. Another very similar website to Padlet is Leno. Leno also is a site where you can sign up for free. And once you've signed up at lenoit.com, then you'll have your own page to start with, and you're able to create canvases, which are very similar to the Padlet bulletin board style. So when I click on Create a New Canvas, then I'm going to have the options to name it, to give it whatever kind of background I'd like for it to have. So here is an example of a Leno bulletin board that I created for an activity. The directions I did on clear sticky notes and put pins in them so they would stay where they are. and then the students came along and took notes, dragged it to the appropriate column, and then did their typing into that note. And they would also be able to put videos and images into those. Some other tools that you could use to gather some feedback are Nearpod and Pear Deck, and I group those together because they are both very similar. You can use them with your Google Slides to incorporate certain activities that give you feedback and let the students interact with the slides. So with each of these tools, you can either go to Nearpod or Pear Deck and start your slide there, or you can start with an existing Google slide and use the add-on feature to add in the slides. For example, in this slideshow, if I wanted to add in some response slides, I would go to my add-ons. I've already included the Nearpod and the Pear Deck add-ons to my Google Drive, but if you don't already have those, you would go to Get Add-ons. So if I open my Nearpod, it's going to give me some choices of different types of slides that I can add in, such as fill in the blanks, add in a flip grid, matching pairs, open-ended questions, poll, quiz. We could add in a simulation, a video, some web content. Whatever I add into there, I'm going to be able to edit once I've added it in. And then when I've added the things and edited as I want to, I would save and go to Nearpod to be able to actually share the slideshow. But this is a bulletin board where I posted the question to them and they're able to put their own thoughts in here, and then it would show up as a sticky note on the board. And once they start posting some thoughts, they could also put pictures, but those are going to start showing up as the little blocks on the discussion board. Here's a multiple choice. The students see the question and the choices, and then what I'm actually viewing here is the number of students who picked each choice. The Pear Deck add-ons are going to be very similar. It's just a different platform that you're using. If I go to the add-ons for Pear Deck and open those up, then we have these templates that we can use to ask students questions, things where they could drag things into place, they could draw something, they could type in their own text, or pick a choice from choices that we are given. And then when we're done editing, we would click on Start Lesson. So hopefully those different sites give you some ideas of how you can obtain feedback from your students, either in the classroom or through distance learning.